There's a new form of people watching in the world today. I'm not sure you've caught on to it yet. It's simple. You just find a news article posted on Facebook, and you read the comment section. And I guarantee it will make you say, wow, every time. People are crazy. I like to read these comments for a while, and then I'll make comments of my own, and then someone will reply to my comment, and inevitably they're wrong. So I get to tell them that they're wrong and why, and how they can be right, like me. And I get into discussions like this often, and I don't mean to brag when I say this, but I'm right like every time. And the more people argue with me, the more they're just making it clear that I'm right. But that's not just me, is it? I mean, have you ever noticed how often you're right? It's amazing, isn't it? Have you ever noticed how rarely your mind actually changes? I mean, if you're really being honest with yourself. I'm addicted to my way of thinking. You are addicted to your way of thinking, your way of seeing the world, because it's all you know. Your perception is your reality. And you can get away with that your whole life because everybody else is doing it too. We just think it's normal. We're stuck in the worldviews we build for ourselves. We're so sure that we're right. We spend most, if not all of our lives, not even questioning, never questioning the most basic assumptions we've made about reality. Jesus begins to preach in public ministry for the first time, and his message is, repent, for the kingdom of heaven has come near. Repent. And the first problem we face is, I don't know about you, but I'm a Christian. I grew up in church. So when I hear Jesus say repent, I just assume he's talking to someone else because I've already done that. You know, I nod when he says it, like, yeah, they should repent. You tell them, Jesus. Preach it. The word for repent in the New Testament is the word metanoia. And we usually translate that to mean to change your mind. And I don't need to change my mind because I'm already right. If you read the story of Jesus in the Bible, you'll find this tragic undertone that follows the story, and it's the tragedy of the religious insiders missing it completely. They're the ones who missed it. And it's because they didn't think they needed to repent because they already had all the right answers. They were so sure of their Messiah framework. And because they were so sure of it, they missed it when the real Messiah showed up because he didn't fit their framework. And that truth about the Messiah, about Jesus, is just as true then, or is just as true now for us as it was for them then, that Jesus doesn't fit your framework. In Isaiah, God says, my thoughts are not like your thoughts. They're higher. And the primary task of a Christian is not to believe the right things, but to put on the mind of Christ. We've translated metanoia to change your mind, but you can change your mind and not actually grow at all. You just switch sides. And we humans love a binary framework that makes us feel right and gives us a hard line where everybody on the other side of that line is wrong. Changing your mind within that framework requires no spiritual transformation. A better way to translate metanoia is not to change your mind, but to expand your mind, or to go into a larger mind, or even to transcend your mind. Meta means larger, more complex, beyond. This larger mind has been called the third way of Jesus, because what Jesus is doing is he's inviting you out of your binary tribal framework altogether. He's saying as long as you're in that framework, you're not going to understand the gospel, because the gospel itself is inviting you out of that framework. Only then can you see the kingdom of heaven, which has come near, by the way. You won't see it if you're still looking out at the world through your old binary lens. You'll hear repent, and you'll think Jesus is just asking you to switch sides, to agree with the belief statements on your church's website. So if you were left, you'll just go right, or if you were right, you'll just go left. But in the deeper reality of things, you'll still be stuck because you're stuck in your worldview. But when you metanoia, when you let Jesus lead you into this larger mind, you realize a third way is required because the left and the right are both not big enough. As long as you stay addicted to your way of thinking, you can have whatever set of belief statements you want. You're still going to miss the kingdom of heaven that is now in your midst. You'll continue to assume that heaven is somewhere else. You'll hear Jesus say, repent, and you'll assume he's talking to someone else. The kingdom of heaven has come near. It's here. It's now. And Jesus is saying, I want you to see it, and I want you to be a part of it. I'm inviting you into this party. But in order for you to see it at all, I have to get you past your way of seeing and into mine. Somehow I have to get you to let go of your assumptions. You're clinging to your worldview. You got to let go of it because you have to expand. You have to metanoia, repent. Jesus doesn't fit your framework, and he's never going to. Jesus wants to change your mind, but that doesn't mean just switch sides in an argument. What Jesus is really up to with us is he's rewiring our consciousness. He's inviting us into a larger way of seeing the world, into a larger way of living. He wants to expand your worldview. And all you have to do is let go of your way of thinking. Let go of being right. We like being right, but the gospel is better than that.